Hello, YouTube. Beanie from the bedroom here, your guitar junkie. So, because of the ration of crap that I've got from my last video over the weekend, 5 LP guitars that are better than a USA-made Gibson, it sent people crazy. Over the top meltdowns. Oh man, they probably had to go into a safe space in their house. So I'm just gonna play this because a lot of people were bitching saying, well, let's hear the guitar. Well, I'm gonna hear the guitar. And I don't know. I did a comparison with the Epiphone. Yes, I do have an Epiphone behind me. So let's do a little sound check. And then I'll put on the mic and we'll go at it. If this is going to upset you, stop the video right now and move on and troll someone else. That's my disclaimer. Yeah. Put it in the middle, give you that out of phase. So I got the wah-wahs on, but it's not. Some more heat, man. Grab the other one. The phase is already on. Yeah. I mean, let's not get carried away. After all, it's just an Epiphone. We put it back behind me, so it's in the background. So we do this here. And plug it in. Plug it in. Testing. Check. 1, 2. Am I coming in clear? Check, check, check. 1, 2. How many times do you do that at a live show over the PA? People just love hearing that, right? Check. 1, 2. So, again, because of the meltdown that people have gone through over my top 5 guitars that are better than the USA made Gibson, they were just in psycho mode. So if you're going to be one of those ass bags, again, don't mind my language. I'm up to here with the stupidity. Move on. You know, if you're a true dedicated USA Gibson customer and that's what floats your boat and you don't mind, you've got FU money, you want to spend 2, 3, 20, 50,000 on a guitar like this, go right ahead. I don't have FU money. You know, most of those guys are doctors and lawyers that don't even know how to play guitar, but they got to have them. Oh, look, I've got my Kirk Hammett, Greedy Moore. Or they don't even say that. My Kirk Hammett, Peter Green guitar. Gary Moore is left out of it. That pisses me off too, because if it wasn't for Gary Moore, you wouldn't even know it was a Peter Green guitar. So I call it a Greeny Moore. So yeah, and let me also say this, that yes, I do have a speech problem. I throughout my entire life, I had to go to speech therapy. I was brought up in a Norwegian household. My parents were Norwegian. They spoke Norwegian. They don't pronounce words like you would think. That's why you get a lot of the guys from Wisconsin and Minnesota. You know, that are a lot of Scandinavians, a lot of Norwegians that moved there because they like the cold. They used to the cold, and their accent is a little off. So sometimes I don't pronounce words properly. I had one guy have a shit fit because I said, instead of saying Holly Benton, I said Holy or Holly Benton instead of Holly Benton, and he had a meltdown. So that's just how sad the world has become lately. That everyone's got to nitpick and just beat someone down because it makes them feel so good. They get off the computer. They're like a telephone tough guy. They're on their phone and on their computer, and oh man, I just ripped that guy a new one. Yeah. So the thing with the guitar, a lot of them are saying, "Oh, buy U.S. Keep the money in the U.S. Support U.S. workers." Yes, I do support U.S. workers. But if CEOs from Gibson wanted to, alleviate some of their bonus, some of their $1 million bonus checks every year, and really put it back into the company and make affordable guitars that people can actually, the normal working Joe can afford, then yeah, that's fine. But the ones that I had gotten saying, "Oh, buy a USA, get a USA Gibson," I guarantee they're typing that out on an Apple phone that was made in China. And those Apple phones, they say, are made in slave camps in China. This, however, wasn't. This wasn't made from an 11-year-old girl in some slave labor camp in China. Um, there are people over there in China that are trying to do the best they can and make a living for themselves. They're not everyone in China is evil, okay? Despite what's going on in China and the rest of the world, you do have good people. So just because I'm a Viking Norwegian doesn't mean that if you go back 200-300 years, whatever the Vikings did back then, raping and pillaging villages from what is in history books, I didn't do that. I had no part of that. But that doesn't make me a bad person. Now, back to this here beauty. So to start with this, I bought this for 300, and I'm going to clarify a lot of things because I got a lot of questions. I bought this from AliExpress. The company's name was Jugs, Jugg apostrophe S Guitar Shop. Now they changed their name, and I'll try to remember to put the link of the changed name now on in my description. It's another thing. If I didn't say it before, I also had a head trauma, and I have a hard time remembering things and a hard time pronouncing words and just thinking of a word, what the word is. So you could hate on me on that too, because I had people saying, no, duh, 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 duh. Yeah, that's fine. You want to make fun of me? That makes your day again? Go right ahead. Piss off, mofos. So yeah, I'm ripping today. So this one here was made by them, and they had a low percentage rate at the time. I think it was 64 to 67%. And there was other ones, and they all look like using the same photo. And that company was the only one that replied back to my comments and sent me the actual pictures of this guitar. And I knew what it was when I got it. So 318 with everything included, shipped to my door because I was asked about that as well. Tax, gratuity, whatever it is called, to get through the ports, shipped to my door. It took about 2 months, 2.5 months. I really didn't expect much. It was my very first Chibson guitar that I bought from China. And I was just thinking, well, if it plays all right, as long as I got something that looks like my hero, Gary Moore, that's behind me right there. If it's a wall hanger, it's a wall hanger. But it turned out to be a fantastic guitar, a great player. And with anything that's $200-300, you could probably play it right out of the box and be satisfied with it. But if you know how to set up a guitar, basically that's what they all need: a good setup, maybe change the strings. And for my ear, I like a certain tone. I spend my entire life chasing tone, and unfortunately, my half stack with my Marshall is, for me, my sound. Anything else that I've had or tried, that's not the sound that I'm always used to playing. And I've always used a half stack in my band for 10 years. I had actually had two Marshall half stacks, and I just play it as low as I can, and I got the distortion on 4 with just a boost coming off of my Demon FX. That's what it is. Andy Timmons clone pedal from Amazon. I like this so much that I bought two. I've got a clean channel and an overdrive channel, and I've got a switch so I can make it even thicker or thinner. And that in the slapback. All the other pedals I use on different songs that I've played for different effects, but they're not on all the time. Those two are on all the time. So back to the guitar, Bean. You got it. So I changed the pickups. I had these made from a guy in Australia, Fabio. I think it was Fab Guitars. Fabian, I think, was his name. And these were 180 bucks. He already had it with the reverse magnet, hand wound, and shipped to my door. I had those replaced. I had the dime size 500K pots in here, but I wanted the nickel size 500K pots because I wasn't sure if these pickups, would hold up. And I'm like, well, I'm already changing the pickups. Let's just change the pots just in case. Who knows what's in there really? I was told that the dime size are 500K. They don't have to be nickel size to be 500K. I didn't know that at the time. So this is the third guitar that I changed the pots in, unbeknownst to me. And I changed the tuners, I put locking tuners. I kept the same key ends that resembled the ones on Gary Moore's guitar, but I just got locking tuners, and I always use Geiger from Amazon. They're between $28 and $38. And as you can see on the back of the headstock, it says replica 79 Greeny Moore. I wrote that with a ink pen. I have so many pictures on my phone of Gary Moore's um, actual guitar that I wanted to duplicate this. And that's why I got it as best I could. So I did it everywhere from wiping off the name from the poker chip to the putting a scratch in it to even making it look like the headstock was cracked. You see that? All the way down to the neck. Now I was asked about the neck. This neck is like a U to a C. If you've ever played, I've only had the pleasure. I have a buddy of mine that owns a guitar store and a gun store. A friend of mine on Facebook that I purchased a Strat from him years ago. We've been friends ever since. He plays out. Some of my friends on Facebook that are celebrities, I'm friends with them because I'm friends with him. And um, that's what I mean. It just goes. So yeah, he has original 50. I think he's got 3 original 59 Les Pauls. I think his main guitar is a 54 Gold Top. He plays with the guitar player Frank Hammond from Tesla. It's the Goldman band. If you ever want to check him out, from I think Reno. He wanted me to move there one time because I could work in the gun shop and in the music store, and he was sending me comps for houses when we were planning on leaving Long Island. Um, so I've only played reissue 59s, and I notice where it's a little fatter here and then a little thinner here, and that's what this guitar is. So that's how I could describe it. It's a nice thin neck, probably a little bit thinner shaped than like the '60s Epiphones that are out there, um, something like that. So yeah, Geiger locking tuners I replaced, and you can get these. Like I said, I have the other ones I bought for my Holly Benton that has the off green kind of plastic knobs, and then they have the two screws vintage in the back, but they're still locking. I buy all of my Geiger tuners from Amazon because I don't like to wind strings. I like it quick and easy when I'm changing the strings. And this one here has a true rosewood fingerboard. It actually looks like pearlized trapezoid inlays, and there's not one that's crooked. They're all perfectly matched and sized to each in between each fret. 22 nickel frets, and that's about it, really. I don't know anything else about it. It's a one-piece mahogany solid body with a one-piece mahogany solid neck, set neck. So there's no scarf here. There's no scarf here. There's no extra spacing here, which is on some guitars. And like I said, I'm pleasantly surprised with this. Now, again, when I ordered this, the pictures that they showed me, it was a plain black headstock. So let me repeat that again. It was a plain black headstock. It had nothing on the headstock, which is what I wanted because I was planning on having a decal made up from my buddy that does that. Greeny slash Moore 59. Greeny slash Moore, like that, 59, and then place it on the headstock. So much to my surprise, when I pulled it out, it had the Gibson logo and it said Les Paul in here in the script. And that was the only thing I was able to remove with super glue gun. This is in the wood, just like you get a regular Gibson. So I couldn't remove that. So it's there. And because it really makes it look like the real Greeny Moore with that in there, I would have been happier if it just said Chibson, with the kind of lettering. Because from a distance, who can tell? But I think it for authenticity, it looks a little bit better than if I would have put Greeny Moore 59, from a distance. But I'm not trying to pawn it off as a counterfeit guitar. I'm not trying to resell it. I'm not going to bring it into Guitar Center and say, yeah, this is what I have. You know, I also have it in here under the pickups where it says replica, and I've got my old badge number in here, under this pickup in case, God forbid, it was ever stolen. If I ever took it to a gig and didn't keep an eye on it and someone scoffed it. I know this guitar because I know every nook and cranny and every scratch and dent that I had to add to it to make it look more like the Greeny Moore guitar. That just to prove it, I know it says replica here, and it's got my old badge number of when I used to work in the private sector in security, um, underneath that pickup. But yeah, so there it is again, replica, 59 replica, Greeny Moore. I'm not trying to pawn it off as the real deal. And I didn't want the Gibson name on the headstock because of that reason, because I see other videos when I was looking at other people that bought this guitar and were doing different things to it. They were getting slack too. So I'm like, well, if I just got it black, it'll be fine because everything else has got to look good. And it's gone again. So if you need to, if you're in the market for something like this, or you're looking around, and you're afraid you might get ripped off, you got to do your due diligence and you got to learn about these guitars. The best way to know a real Gibson from a counterfeit Gibson, a copycat Gibson, or a Chibson made guitar is just simply remove the plate from the truss rod, the cover. And if you see it takes an Allen key, you know it's a copy. You know, it's not the original. It's not a real deal USA Gibson. If you look in there and you see it like it takes a 10 millimeter nut, you see a nut head, then you know that. And the other thing is the tailpiece, the way the screws are set into it. Telltale signs to know that, you know, whether or not it's the real deal or not. But so how, whatever. So yeah, I'm sure I'm going to get someone because of the times I say and you know, and you know, not speaking, not remembering things. And my playing, I get guys that say, well, instead of making videos, why don't you learn how to play guitar? Well, I tried. I took 3 lessons. I couldn't comprehend it. I'm dyslexic. I just know what I like, and I play what I like. You know, I wrote a song saying, "In rows of 6 on a block of wood, I play what I want, not what I should." So, and I've even got my buddies that are professional players they'll see my video and they'll call me up and say, "Do you know what chord you're in?" And it drives them nuts that I don't know what I'm doing and I'm playing the song. And like, how did you know how to do that? What did you know that's a pentatonic scale? Pentatonic, I don't even know how to pronounce it. Pentatonic scale? No, I didn't know that. I don't know what scale I'm doing. I just know my way around the fingerboard and what sounds good. So I just stick with what I know. I don't go crazy. So yeah, I get that a lot too. And it's funny because those guys, all the nasty comments that I get, when I go to their channel, they've got zero content, zero videos of them playing. Or if they do, they're 10 times worse than me. They're like a 9-year-old that just started playing guitar, you know, for the first week. And they have zero subscribers, zero views, zero likes, nothing. So, you know, they want to jump on me, you know, for what I'm doing. I'm just having fun with this. I don't do this as a profession. I don't make money off of this. You know, now that the channel is growing, and I appreciate everyone that has been subscribing to my channel. I'm almost 796 or 794 YouTube subscribers as of today. And I appreciate that. You don't see me in any of my videos begging someone to like and subscribe and don't forget to smash that bell. You know, I don't do that because if you like it, you're gonna come back on your own. You don't need me to do it. You don't need me to ask you. You don't need me to beg you. And I'm not doing it for money. If I hit 1,000 views and I get the check mark, that would make my day. That would be Christmas to me. But you know, I had another guy that, you know, he was trying to start something off and make something happen. And that's the first thing he said is, "Oh, do you make money off of it?" No, I don't make money off it because I'm not in it to make money. And every time my band played for 10 years at car shows, at the beach, at backyard barbecues, we were asked to play here, there, and other everywhere. And I would get invited up at a club for a band that's playing. I never accepted money because it was only about fun for me. If I started doing it for a living or doing it to make money, then I think that's going to take the fun away, you know. So I think that's all I've got to say about that. I hope that my mic stayed on. Yep. Because the first video I did was way funnier than this one. I didn't, you know, I wasn't pissed off as much as I am today because I was going through so many comments today. But my mic cut off. It just shut off in the middle of the video for whatever reason. I was going to post it, but then I'm going to have people say, "Oh, what are you doing? You don't even know how to videotape." Yeah, that's what you get. What do you get? What can I tell you? So thanks for watching. Have a good day and a better tomorrow. Come on now. See, technology. I've got the